So, the first thing you're going to want to do, or you're going to tend to do, is say, well, this motherfucker's crazy. And that's understood. It's understandable. I saw this guy the other day out here. I walked up and he was just hella fanatical. Had the shirt, all kind of things written on his shirt. And he came the next day and he had put up some banners over there, over the trees, two trees together, and tied them up and put some banners up. And he had it all written down. And he was going all in it, like he's going mad hard about it, you know. And he comes off like a nut. He wanted to check me on my language, you know, saying that I was using the Lord's name in vain and so many other things. So I understand it, you know. I don't know if he's a nut or not, but he certainly comes off like a nut. He certainly comes off as fanatical. He's certainly fanatical. So when somebody tells you, especially somebody who has a peppery tongue, you know, you got those words going on like that guy he called it blasphemy or using the words, taking the Lord's name and being taking the Lord's name in vain. I guess I think I may have said goddamn sometimes or certain times when I was talking. Look, man, this stuff is not simple out here. That's the way I see it. The Bible, I don't know what to tell you. It'll say one thing, then it'll say another thing. It'll say don't take the Lord's name in vain, and don't say this and don't say that. And then it'll say, well, it's not what comes out of my mouth. It's not what goes into my mouth, but what comes out of my mouth. That defiles a man. Not what goes into your mouth, but what comes out of your mouth that defiles a man. But then I can sit there and say all kind of things all day, every fucking day. If I don't know the meaning of what the hell it is, then what does it mean to me? Like, you can tell me how to say all kind of things. Teach me right now. Say Hamada. Okay, so Hamada. So keep saying Hamada, 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 Hamada. I don't know what the fuck Hamada means. But you have all these Chinese people out there, oh, it's a Hamada, 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 yeah. And they're laughing and shit because I say it with a funny accent. And I'm using profanity, and I'm a black guy using profanity. You know, from all appearances, I'm a black guy saying Hamada. So you're saying profane words in some dialect of Chinese, some Chinese dialect. You know, so I get it. I know that you think I'm nuts, but there's a lot of things going on right now. Hey, I would think you're nuts. You see how these people out here say, well, I'm Jesus, or I'm Jesus, and people who think they're Jesus, and so on and so forth, but how many people think or know that they're Jesus' older brother? And that's probably not as common a claim as you have so many people out there saying, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus, I'm Jesus, and they think that they're Jesus from the dead or something, from the beyond, you know, Ethros. I'm getting lazy. I'm just saying anything Ethros. Ethros. I'm just fucking whatever right now. But listen, man. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. You know? No one else is stepping up to say they are. What the hell makes you think Jesus' older brother is not here in the mix with all the things that's going on right now, taking place right now? My initials, ATD, my time of birth, a date of birth, an exact time of birth, how everything sequentially has unfolded in my life prior to having any inclination, any understanding about light workers and so on and so forth, and what's going on with the whole movement of the rainbow children, the crystal children. I need to learn more about it, to tell you the truth. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get to it. Yeah, way before that, I had this trippy thing going on with me. I couldn't place my finger on. I didn't know what the hell is going on. A lot of psychiatrists can't even tell me what the hell's going on. They don't know bipolar, schizoaffective, so on and so forth. For me, there's always a little something else going on, though. It seems like a little something else going on, like maybe I got some new shit going on, right? Turns out I do have something relatively new compared to some other stuff. There's always something coming from somewhere. Was it all here to begin with? Or did it develop over time and say, well, here's a new one. Here's something else. Like these main so-called mental disorders. Emphasis on so-called. They serve a purpose. They said Jesus had a mental disorder. He's mad and had a demon. It seems to be that way. Somebody actually sent me a comment or something like that, or a video or something like that at some point. It says, yeah, when you're here and you're that one that you're one of those ones or one of those types, you're not really appreciated when you're here now, but maybe later on down the road after the fact, you get posthumously some kind of credit or another for what it was or what it is. Well, yeah. Like ADD, yeah? Attention deficit disorder. Or just AD, sometimes some people call it. Those are my initials once again. After the death of Christ. AD. Put the T in the middle. For the cross. St. Anthony's cross is what that's called. They use that for Tao. One of the oldest religions out there, and it's all interrelated. It's not all of it, but a good bit of it's interrelated. You can find a little of this one and that one, a little of that one and this one. Kind of like Greek, I guess, yeah? Like they say, it all sounds Greek to me. Whatever language you're speaking. Anyhow. St. Anthony's cross. Yeah, that's the T in the middle. And that's the cross that I don't know where this lowercase cross came from. Or this cross that looks like a lowercase T. How that got to be. Maybe I'll look it up. The cross that they say that Jesus was and the others were crucified on, but it wasn't. It looked like an uppercase T. And that is St. Anthony's cross. We have a lot of things going on right now. A lot of things are taking place. And like I said, sequentially, these things have unfolded in my life. So I realize that it's nuts. It comes off as nuts. It comes off as crazy. I realize that if you are Jesus' older brother, you're not really supposed to believe it. Because if you do, that means, well, that's just too grand. And that's nuts. And you walk around psychology that becomes a little nuts. What do they call it? It could be some kind of derivative or some kind of nuance of, what do they call it? What's that term? God complex. I don't think Jesus was God. I'm not exactly sure what he was. It says in the Bible, ye are gods. So if it's written, then it must be so. He said that about everyone, not just himself. They said, well, you make yourself out to be the Son of God. He said, well, it's written. It's written that ye are gods. So if it's written, then it must be so. Ye are children of the Most High. Sons and daughters of the Most High. Yeah, it's deep out here. And I realize I come off as a nut. Jesus came off as a nut. That's supposed to be him right there, isn't it? Did he not come off as a nut? I tell you, it's very difficult. It'd be very difficult to do and say and be everything that he was and not come off as a nut. Not to say that that's my psychology, same as Jesus. I'm a pussy. I don't like the sacrifices. Some of the sacrifices. I wouldn't want to go through what he went through. I really wouldn't. I'm trying to get to something different. I'm I'm tired of it. And this isn't my first rodeo. I've had others. Like I commented on a comment. I commented on a video just last night. There's Miley Cyrus on some page where they had all these people speaking, all these so-called celebrities. I don't really know what a celebrity is, what it isn't, but so-called celebrities going on about all this and all that, going on about certain things. And Miley Cyrus made a comment about she wanted to emphasize that she doesn't really trip off of. That's besides the point. I just want to make the point, but she wanted to say that in this life, she made a point to emphasize in this life, in this lifetime is actually what she said. In other words, listening to that, you get the impression that she believes that there are other lifetimes that are aware. She's aware that there are other lifetimes, but in this lifetime, there's something that she wanted to be a certain way, or something she did not want to be a certain way. For her, in this lifetime, she emphasized, expressed. But yeah, I've had other lifetimes. And according to Cryon, I'm going to have some more. I'm going to have some others after, I'm going to have some more after this one. So now, it just seems just too convenient that here we have all these things going on, and I'm claiming to be what I am and who I am. And this could be verified. It could be verified. And if I'm not Jesus' older brother, at the very least, I'm a light worker. So really, technically, what's the difference? Because Jesus was a light worker. And the GFL station will tell you that. And I've got confirmation the GFL station is legitimate. And they confirmed that for me because I'm looking for legitimacy. I really am when I'm dealing with certain things out there. And they confirmed that for me by saying, well, you know, I'm listening for things. Like they said, okay, in 2024, they said they will be arriving in 2025 or 2026. Sure enough, I'm looking for it. Okay, so where are you going to be at? So about 2025, or in 2025, it's the first place I heard at it from. I didn't hear about it from this. I didn't hear from that way, that way, or Ivy Loeb, or none of that. I heard it right there at the GFL station. I don't go there every day, all day. I don't. I just wait for things to pop up and naturally unfold sequentially, in some kind of sequence or something. For the most part, I don't push things and pressure things. It's just like me being born in 1974. I didn't push that either, as far as I'm aware. Certainly not as Anthony, I didn't push it. I may have pushed it as something other than Anthony before I arrived here, but I doubt that I did. But certainly as Anthony, I didn't push my birth at 1974. I just waited on it to happen, and it was going to happen. It happened. And it did. So they say, you know, well, 2025, 2026, we will be arriving. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll be looking for that then. And what we looking for that? Because 2025 rolls around, all right, we're still not there. 2026 rolls around, okay, we're still hearing nothing from it. Then I'm going to write off this GFL station on YouTube and move on to some other stuff because you did not put up or shut up. You said one thing and something else was the case without an explanation, of course, of why that did not manifest or take place. But they did. So I go over there and like, hey, Three-Eye Atlas. I'm like, okay, what's Three-Eye Atlas? They say, well, Three-Eye Atlas is not a comet. It is us. We're here, out in the solar system. So I'm like, all right. So now I'm listening around, and got all these people talking about, well, let's get some more confirmation about Three-Eye Atlas, not just from the GFL station. Turns out there is a Three-Eye Atlas, and there's a comet, supposedly, they determine a comet. It's out there, and it's doing all kinds of things that comets do not do. Like jumping from one planet to another planet, landing on a planet, you know, then getting off that planet and going to another planet. And they showed a picture of it, an image of it as well. I saw that on Ralph Smart's page over there, channel over there. And he showed it had a light blink on off. He said, that's the mothership. It's the biggest, the size of Manhattan Island. It's huge. Yeah. And so now supposedly they're still hanging out. and it's 2026. So I don't know how much contact they're going to make, how much, or what's going to take place. But for now, I guess they're hanging out in the solar system. They're probably already down here incorporating with all this and been doing it for quite some time. You don't need to bring the whole damn comet or spaceship or mothership down to where the people can see it with their naked eye. You can leave that up in the solar system where it's at. If it's the size of Manhattan Island, I'm pretty sure there's at least a parking lot in their size, a parking lot for spaceships or whatever shuttles, whatever kind of ships you have, to come out of there and come into this situation over here without bringing the whole damn thing in. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of things going on right now. And these things are not something that I've just recently gotten into. My life has played out for quite some time now along this matter without explanation for a lot of it. Age 24. The things I seen, the things I heard. The things I saw and the things that I heard. Like Jesus said to Nicodemus, we speak of what we know. We tell you of what we've seen and what we hear. What more is there to say? I guess in time we'll know. I'm telling Lee Carroll over there the best that I can that he can confirm all this. Not him. Well, he can find a way to confirm all this. There are ways to do it. They were confirming light workers, if nothing else. In 2014, I wasn't quite prepared to get up there and get up and get out and go out there and head out there at that time. I had all kind of things going on. But it was something they were extending as an offer. Because I think they wanted to know, right? They want to know who is the light workers out there and so on and so forth. Has the window closed for you trying to confirm who a light worker is or who a light worker isn't? And what hierarchy of light worker they are? Or what nuance of light worker they are? If you don't like the term, you don't like the connotations of hierarchy. I don't really get it. Maybe it's like I said when I came on. You just think I'm nuts. Everyone just thinks I'm nuts. So why even bother with it? There's nothing there but a waste of time. Okay. Well, I'll assure you I'm not nuts. No more than Jesus was anyway. I would like to think. I don't know how nuts he was. But they said he was nuts. I don't think he was nuts. I think he was flipping. But then again, consider the source. And what it was, he was a man. Flesh and blood, he bled. And yet he navigated 2 different worlds, at least 2. His reality and his psychology, it wasn't, not to say that mine is, but it's different for sure. And so is yours and so is everyone else's. Everyone has a little different way they're kicking in their head than someone else, You don't look at this world the way I look at this world. I don't look at this world the way you look at this world. I'd like to know how you look at this world, how you view it. There could be similarities, but how can I say that you see it the way I see it? How can I say that you see it the way anyone else sees it? Maybe you see it in a very specific way that's just specific, very to you, but tailored just for you, just to you, like a snowflake. You see it and experience it and take it all in, in a way that no one else has and no one else can. I don't know what you see when you see the color red. Do you see the same thing that I see? You have people who are colorblind. I'm quasi-colorblind. So I don't know. But yeah, like I said, consider the source. He was navigating at least 2 different worlds. And he was flesh and blood. When he did the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, he wasn't just a skipping and a bopping through that like it wasn't, sailing through that like it was nothing. He felt that shit. Anyway, what else is there to say? I'd like to get this confirmed. I really would. But I got to do something. I might just move on if I can, but I don't think I can. In the Lightworks Handbook, I heard a lot of things in there that seemed that it was tailored to me. One of the things Quran was saying was, a light worker here, a light worker there, light worker here, light worker there. Hey, when you hear this or whatever, you can go your own way if you like. But at least let us come with you. Concave of angels come with you. And then he went on and went on. Then he got to some other one, which is where I'm coming from, where I tell you it's got reasons to believe certain things, which I heard me in there. I heard me quite a bit in there. He says, oh, well, it could have been everybody, really. But it's just, don't you think we were with you all the time? Or don't you think we heard the tears? How many tears have you had? Probably quite a bit. But I had a very specific kind of way. And a lot of workers went through quite a bit, though. You know, they say we go through this, we go through that. We come into abusive or at least dysfunctional families. All those things align with me. Very dysfunctional family. Extreme psychological and physical abuse. My first memories are having my head dunked into a very lukewarm bathtub, submerged in there as a very young man, not a young man, but a very young, little, about toddler. I don't know, maybe 5 or something like that, 5 years of age. You know, sitting there, holding my breath underwater, as my sadistic stepfather, who had his father do the same thing to him, and similar things. He's from Lebanon, you know. See, they had a well out there, and my mother tells me that his father tied his feet with a rope and submerged him into a well that was out in the yard, lowered him down there, and have his head, you know, inverted, and have his head down there in the water for I don't know how long, and would pull him up, torture him like torture. And then he would find just no reasons at all just to do that, you know. But those were my first memories, you know. Being baptized, I guess, by this hateful energy that does not like my ass for shit. Hey, welcome to planet Earth, Anthony. But what was the point when I got off and all that? Yeah. I was born into a dysfunctional family, like it says about light workers being born into dysfunctional families, and mine just happened to be in particularly a very abusive, psychological and physical abusive experience. So yeah, like they say about the stars, how they align. All this shit's aligns. All this aligns. I looked it up. I looked at my numerological chart. You know, and numerology, according to Cryon, is real. It's not poppycock. It's not silly stuff. It's actually something that's in the universe, and it serves a purpose. Kind of like the planets are in the universe. They serve a purpose. They regulate our temperaments and temperament, and so on and so forth. So many other things. They're not just there. There's quite a few functions that they serve. You know, as the Almighty, I guess you figure we just get the most out of everything that you have out here, right? Everything needs to serve a purpose. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on. But what's the point? Either you're going to believe it or you're not going to believe it. Now, how do you say it? How do you confirm it? Well, like I said, they say they confirm these things. They can confirm what you are and who you are. As far as a light worker and so many other things. So maybe I got to go about doing it a different way with Lee Carroll. Because maybe Lee Carroll thinks I'm not asking for a favor. I'm just demanding something from him. Which I'm not. I'm just asking for the service that they extended. Or that they ought to extend. Hit me back. Let me know something. Email me. You've got my contact. When's a good time for you? I'll travel out to you. I'm not asking you to travel out to me. Can you set that up and we get a confirmation and you can know, if you don't already know, who I am and what I am? If crime will oblige us and humor us with it, I think that I'd be qualified enough. Cryon, yeah. Maybe that's not in my cards. Maybe they don't want that. And by they, I mean more than just Lee Carroll and his crew over there, who he works with, his little organization. Maybe the Almighty doesn't want it. Maybe it's not the time for it yet. I really can't say. But this total avoidance, I want it. I'm ready to move on. Like I say, I'm ready to go ahead and let it be known that so I can stop going on like I'm going on right now, making these explanations about this and explanations about that, and we can just say, well, he wasn't honored for what he said he was. None of it. I mean, nothing. He's just a crackpot. He's a nut. We dismiss it. We move on. Even though I know that I'm not. That's the call. I accept that. Hey, I'm ready to move on. I will move on, and this crackpot will go his damn way, if that's what I am, considered to be at that point, and I will find something else to do. Short of that, I don't know why that would be the call, but there may be a reason for that, if that were the call. Other than that, that wouldn't be the call. Other than that, the call would be is that I am who I say that I am. And with that, you can say, well, look, this was confirmed, right? Well, there you go. Just like right now, I can sit up here and talk to you all day and all night about me being a certified masseuse. And you say, well, he knows about this, he knows about that. There you go. But if you want confirmation that I'm a certified masseuse, you say, well, where can I get your credentials at? And I show you something here, show you something there. That's great. And you know how to do this, you know how to do that. That's great. And I can see a little something there, a hint of this here, hint of that. That's great. But like, where's your birth certificate, right? That gives you credentials. That gives you confirmation of something. I know you speak well English. You sound like you're from the Midwest. Show us your birth certificate with a stamp, or what do we call this? A stamp, a seal of Illinois on it. We may even need more confirmation than that for some people, right? Show us a few more things, and now we have a lot more credibility going on here. It's a lot more believable. Matter of fact, get to a point, hey, I believe it. He's from America. He was born in Illinois. There's his birth certificate. There's this, there's that, there's this, there's that, and that is what it is. But like I was talking about the masseuse a moment ago, yeah, so they call up and say, well, this is where such and such and such and such. So they came, the train, and they took so many hours and so on and so forth, and now they ought to have a certificate over there for being a masseuse. Is that the case? Yeah, that's the case. Like right now, I have a GED. I acquired it at 16 years of age. I lost that credential or little diploma, whatever it was. I lost that years ago. But believe it or not, I can call up, and I did that just in 2023. 2023. I called up to the job course that I acquired it at. I attained it at. And I was like, can I still get that damn thing? Looked at a little list, looked at a little that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, sure. We still have it. We'll send it out to you. I was like, well, I'm going to have it sent out to me a little later on. I never did quite get it sent out yet. But I'm still good for that. I can walk around and tell people all day, I've got a GED, and that's great. Well, can you do this, can you do that? Yeah, I can do this, I can do that. But it doesn't mean you have a GED. Certainly doesn't mean you have a high school diploma. I can go right now and get all the curriculum that it would take to become a business associate, what do you call that thing, in Harvard? I get a business degree at Harvard. What does it take to get a business degree at Harvard? Get all the curriculum, get the books, get it all. Learn it, get a little tutoring here. I need something here, a little assistance here, blah, blah, blah. Get it all down. And then I'm out there like I'm some big businessman with a degree in business. And I am, but I don't have a degree. So you say, well, I don't know. You can do this, you can do that, and I can do this, I can do that, and we can implement you here, there, and there. But you really, do you have a degree at Harvard? From Harvard? And where's it at? Well, until you can produce that, I don't know what to tell you. How come you can't produce it? Because you don't have it. You didn't go to Harvard. You're not who you say you are. Yeah, sure, you know this, you know that, but hey, people read books. Look at all the people out there who know the Bible. Know the Bible well, like the back of their hand. Does that necessarily make them Christians? Hey, it's one of the greatest books ever written. Sold more books than any other book, as far as I know, currently. to date. Status quo. You got all kind of people out there reading the Bible. It's because they shoot you all kind of this and all kind of that and this verse and that verse. And you can take it for face value, or you can say, well, what do you mean by it? What are your intentions, you know? What's your motives? The devil, they say, knows the Bible, knows it well.